Like and subscribe. Also hit the notifications bell to get more from us.
And don't get me started on the new script. The writer thinks he's Tarantino. I told him, kid, I made $300 million last year. You made Rent.
Bring me another about 8 apartment and make it quick this time.
Gas away, sir.
Of course, Mr. Harlan. The 82 is breathing nicely tonight. I took the liberty of decanting it tableside earlier, just the way you prefer. Would you like me to pour for the table? Yeah. And tell your manager the service here is slipping. I've been waiting 8 minutes for that bottle. 8. In Beverly Hills? Unacceptable. Bye.
Keep it coming, my friend!
Victor, the man just got here. Give him a second. Besides, you've had 3 already. We're here to talk business, not test the staff's patience.
All right. Business it is.
Business?
Sweetheart, you're Leonard's daughter. You know how this town works. Patience is for the little people. You hear that, waiter? Little people. That's you, Uriel. Understood, sir. Little people keep the lights on. Enjoy.
Your red wine, madam.
Thank you. Marc, right? I've seen you here before. You always remember the orders.
Thank you. It's my pleasure.
He certainly does.
It's my job to remember, Miss Kensington. Red wine, no ice, paired with the Wagyu. And for Mr. Harlan, the loudest table in the room.
Ha! Kids got jokes. Careful, or I'll have you fired by dessert. Now get us some of those truffle fries. And don't skimp.
Marc, the wine.
Right away, Mr. Harlan.
Audrey, isn't this place magnificent?
He's different. Most waiters here pretend they don't hear you insult them.
They're all the same. Invisible until you need something. Now, about your father's latest deal.
The rest of the evening at the Palm Terrace unfolded like a carefully rehearsed play, every line and movement designed to keep the illusion alive. Marc Reed moved through the opulent dining room with the precision of a surgeon, his tray balanced perfectly, his voice a low, soothing murmur that put even the most demanding celebrities at ease. But inside, beneath the crisp uniform and the disarming smile, a storm brewed, one that had been gathering for 14 years. He remembered the night it started with crystal clarity. His father, a once-respected film editor, had crossed paths with Victor Harlan on a project that promised to launch their family into the Hollywood stratosphere. Instead, Harlan had used blackmail and fabricated scandals to destroy him, leaked documents, whispered lies to studio heads, a smear campaign that left Marc's father broken, jobless, and eventually dead by his own hand in their modest valley apartment. Elena Reed had raised her son alone after that, her dreams of a quiet acting career shattered alongside her husband's. Now, at 62, her heart condition worsened by the week. She lived in that same faded apartment, the walls still echoing with old photographs and unspoken grief. Marc's photographic memory wasn't just a party trick, it was his weapon. Every whispered conversation at the Palm Terrace, every credit card number carelessly left on a table, every affair or shady deal confided over expensive wine, he cataloged it all. For months he had been planting seeds of chaos among the elite. A rival producer's car brakes failing after a heavy meal here. A studio executive suddenly hospitalized with food poisoning that no one could trace. Small accidents. Nothing fatal yet, but each one chipped away at the empire Harlan had built on the backs of men like his father. That night, after Vic and Audrey's table finally cleared, Vic storming out without a proper tip, as usual Marc lingered in the dimly lit service alley behind the restaurant. The cool Beverly Hills air carried the faint scent of jasmine from nearby mansions and the distant hum of traffic on Rodeo Drive. Rough one tonight, huh? Tyler Ty Brooks sidled up beside him, lanky and quick-witted at 27, still in his waiter's uniform with the sleeves rolled up. Ty was the closest thing Marc had to a friend in this glittering cage. An aspiring screenwriter who took the job for material, he cracked jokes to survive the long shifts and dreamed of selling a script that would get him out. Marc forced a chuckle, lighting a cigarette he didn't really want. Harlan's the same as always, loud, entitled, and blind to anyone not kissing his ring. Ty leaned against the wall, eyes narrowing. You handled him like a pro, but I saw that look you gave him when he called you little people. Dude, you okay? You've been off lately, like you're somewhere else even when you're pouring wine. Marc exhaled smoke slowly, his hazel eyes distant. Just tired, Ty, family stuff, mom's not doing great. Ty clapped him on the shoulder, loyal but sensing the lie. If you need to talk scripts or whatever, I'm here, just don't let assholes like Harlan get to you, we're better than them. Inside, Mark's mind raced. Ty was too perceptive. If he got too close to the truth, that Mark wasn't just waiting tables but waiting for the perfect moment to dismantle Vic Harlan's life, he'd lose the only ally he had. But the revenge had to continue. It was the only thing keeping him going. The next afternoon, Mark drove his modest sedan into the valley, the contrast to Beverly Hills jarring. Elena Reed's apartment was small, filled with faded movie posters and the sterile smell of medication. She sat in her worn armchair, frail but fierce, her eyes lighting up when he walked in with groceries and her favorite takeout. "Marcus," she said, voice soft but steady, pulling him into a hug that felt too thin. "You look exhausted. That restaurant is eating you alive." He knelt beside her, taking her hands. The emotion hit him hard, the love, the guilt, the burning need to make things right. "It's temporary, Ma, I'm close. Harlan was in last night, same table, same arrogance. He doesn't even remember us, but I remember everything." Elena's face tightened with worry. "Baby, listen to me. Revenge won't bring your father back. It won't fix my heart. I see what it's doing to you, that coldness in your eyes when you talk about him. You're becoming someone I don't recognize. Let it go, for me." Tears welled in Mark's eyes, but he blinked them back. The suspense of his double life pressed on him like a weight. He wanted to tell her everything, the plans, the small sabotages, but the fear of breaking her further kept him silent. "I can't, Ma, not yet. He took everything from us. I have to finish this." She cupped his face, her touch trembling. "You're all I have left. Don't lose yourself." The drive back to Beverly Hills that evening was heavy with unresolved emotion. Mark arrived at the Palm Terrace early for his shift, the restaurant still quiet in the golden hour light filtering through the large windows overlooking Rodeo Drive. Zara Voss was behind the bar, 31, confident and tattooed, wiping glasses with practiced efficiency. She flashed him a flirtatious grin as he approached. "Early bird gets the tips," Zara said, sliding him a quick espresso. "Heard Harlan was a nightmare last night, you good." Mark leaned on the bar, letting the charm slip into place. "Always. You hear anything interesting from the A-listers lately? Anything that might help a guy like me get ahead?" Zara laughed, low and knowing. She had seen everything in this town, affairs, deals, breakdowns. "Your trouble, Marc Reed, but yeah, word is Leonard Kensington is pushing a big merger with Harlan's company. His daughter Audrey's handling the legal side. She's sharp, hot too, watch yourself with her, she notices things." Audrey, the name lingered. Mark had felt her eyes on him the night before. She was no ordinary regular, she was connected to the very rot he wanted to expose. The attraction was dangerous, electric, and it complicated everything. 2 nights later, the suspense thickened. Audrey returned alone, sitting at the bar this time rather than a table. Mark served her the usual Cabernet, his movements precise. She studied him openly now. "You're not like the other waiters here," Audrey said, voice low enough that only he could hear. "Most of them fake the charm. Yours feels real, almost too real, like you're playing a part." Mark poured the wine with steady hands, but his pulse quickened. "Maybe I am, or maybe I just pay attention, Ms. Kensington. Your father's deals must keep you busy. Leonard Kensington doesn't strike me as the type to let his daughter breathe easy." Her green eyes narrowed, a mix of intrigue and suspicion. "You know my father's name. Most people pretend they don't. How?" "Like I said, I remember." He leaned in slightly. The air between them charged. "And I know what it's like to carry family weight that crushes you." For the first time, Audrey's guarded walls cracked. She sipped the wine, emotion flickering across her face, loneliness, ambition, the toll of being Leonard's daughter in a town that devoured the vulnerable. "You have no idea. My father and Vicky, they're cut from the same cloth, power at any cost. Sometimes I wonder if I'm any different." Their conversation stretched longer than it should have. Ty watched from across the room, brow furrowed in quiet concern. Zara raised an eyebrow behind the bar, sensing the spark. Mark felt it too, the pull toward Audrey, a woman who could ruin his plans or become his unexpected ally. It was emotional quicksand. He wanted to hate her for her bloodline, but her honesty, her quiet strength stirred something deeper than revenge. The accidents escalated in the weeks that followed. A prominent director who dined with Vic suffered a mysterious allergic reaction that nearly killed him, traced vaguely to something in his meal, though the kitchen was spotless. Another investor in Harlan's latest project had his brakes tampered with after leaving the restaurant, crashing harmlessly but enough to scare him off a deal. The police were sniffing around now. Detective Ryan Castillo, 45, overworked and cynical with a growing beer belly, started appearing at the bar during off hours, asking questions in a gravelly voice. "Seen anything unusual, Reed?" Castillo asked one slow afternoon, nursing a coffee. "These accidents keep circling back to this place. Rich folks dropping like flies around your VIPs." Marc remained the picture of calm professionalism. "I just serve the food and smile, detective. People talk a lot when they think no one's listening, but I don't get involved." Castillo's sharp eyes bored into him. "Funny, you seem like the type who listens to everything." The detective's presence ramped up the suspense. Marc knew he was walking a razor's edge, one slip and it all unraveled. The emotional breaking point came on a rainy Thursday evening. Marc visited his mother again, her condition worsening. She was in bed now, monitors beeping softly. "Marcus," she whispered, gripping his hand with surprising strength. "I had a dream about your father last night. He wasn't angry. He was at peace. Let this go, live your life. Find someone who sees the good in you, not the anger." Tears streamed down Marc's face as he held her. The love for his mother warred with the vengeance that had defined him for so long. "I'm trying, Ma, but it's all I know." That same night, Audrey showed up at the Palm Terrace unannounced, soaked from the rain, eyes red-rimmed. She sat at Marc's section, ordering nothing but wine. "My father and Vic closed the deal today," she said when he approached. "It's dirty, Marc. I saw the files. Blackmail just like they did to people years ago. People like your family, maybe." Marc froze, the mask slipping for the first time. "How did you?" "I looked into you," Audrey confessed, voice trembling with emotion. "After that first night, your father's name came up in old records tied to Harlan's scandals. I'm not my father, Marc. I don't want this life anymore, but I'm scared for both of us." The confession hung between them, heavy with suspense and raw feeling. Marc's calculated world cracked. He wanted to push her away to protect his plan, but the pull was too strong. They talked for hours after closing, the restaurant empty except for the rain pattering on the windows. Ty had gone home early, suspicious glances lingering. Zara locked up with a knowing wink. Marc and Audrey walked the empty streets of Beverly Hills, her arm brushing his, the tension electric. "I could help you," Audrey whispered, stopping under a streetlight, her green eyes searching his. "But only if you let me in, no more secrets." Marc's internal conflict raged. Revenge had kept him alive, but Audrey and his mother's pleas offered something he hadn't felt in years, hope. Yet the suspense built as he realized Detective Castillo was closing in faster. A tip had led the detective to Marc's apartment, where he found notes on Harlan's routines. The climax unfolded 2 nights later at a private after-hours event at the Palm Terrace. Vic Harlan hosted a lavish celebration for the merger, Leonard Kensington at his side, both men laughing boisterously amid champagne and deals. Marc worked the room, heart pounding. Audrey was there too, tense and beautiful in emerald silk, her eyes pleading with him across the crowd. Ty pulled Marc aside in the kitchen. "Dude, what the hell is going on? Zara told me you've been asking weird questions about Harlan's car, and that detective was here again. If you're in trouble, tell me, we're friends." "I can't drag you into this," Marc said, voice thick with emotion. Loyalty to Ty clashed with his isolation. Zara, overhearing, stepped in. "Whatever it is, Marc, be careful. This town eats people alive." As the night peaked, Vic cornered Marc near the bar, drunk and belligerent. "You again, always hovering. You remind me of someone I crushed once, some editor who thought he could stand up to me." The words ignited everything. Marc's calm facade shattered internally. "Maybe I do," he murmured. Audrey intervened, pulling Vic away, but not before whispering to Marc, "Don't do it, not like this." The suspense crested when Detective Castillo arrived uninvited, flashing his badge. "Harlan, Kensington, there's been another incident. Your new business partner's wife just had her drink spiked at another venue, traced back here somehow. Reed, you're coming with me for questioning." Chaos erupted. Vic raged, Leonard tried to pull strings, but Audrey stood firm beside Marc. In the alley outside, amid flashing lights and pouring rain, Marc finally broke. He confessed everything to Audrey, the revenge, the accidents, the pain of losing his father, the love for his ailing mother, tears mixed with rain on his face. "I thought it would fix me," he said, voice cracking, "but it's just made me empty. You make me want something else." Audrey kissed him then, fierce and emotional, her own tears falling. "We'll face this together. My father, Vic, they'll answer for what they've done. Legally, no more shadows." Detective Castilla, watching from afar, chose mercy in that moment, enough evidence to investigate the moguls without pinning everything on Marc. Ty and Zara stood by as witnesses, their loyalty tested but unbroken. Elena, hearing the news from her hospital bed the next day, smiled weakly as Marc held her hand. You chose life, my boy, that's the real victory. Weeks later, the Palm Terrace buzzed with new energy. Vic Harlan's empire crumbled under investigations, Leonard Kensington disgraced but alive. Marc still waited tables not out of necessity but choice while Audrey fought for justice from her law firm. Their relationship deepened, emotional and real. Built on truth rather than secrets. Ty sold his first script, inspired by the whole ordeal. Zara ran the bar with new confidence, and Marc visited his mother daily, her health stabilizing with the weight of vengeance lifted. In the end, the waiter who had hidden in plain sight found redemption not in destruction but in the quiet courage to let go. Beverly Hills glittered on, indifferent, but for Marc Reed, the lights finally felt warm.